All right, are you ready to get started? Do I have your blocks? Oh, I need my timer. No. Our power, 1 hour. So if you're home and you got some blocks, go ahead and grab them. You all have blocks here, so place the blocks beside your hips. I'm going to warm up with some L-sits. So kind of a gymnastics kind of move, but an important thing in our yoga practice because it teaches us to engage our core while breathing. So we're going to hold the position for an intentionally uncomfortable amount of time. This will be 35 seconds. So if you've never done it, or just to review, you've got, so if you had your hands right beside your hips where you could lift your hips, that's where you're going to place your blocks. These blocks are really like sturdy, so you can hold the weight. I like the high position because it lets me get my hips up a little more. So I'm going to say, boom, go. And you're going to extend your arms and you're going to press your hips back and you're going to try to straighten your legs. So don't go yet. I'm going to do it with the timer. So your legs are straightening and you're tucking back. So notice the more I tuck back, the lighter my feet become. So it's about tucking, pressing, and at the same time relaxing your shoulders. So bring your feet to the mat so your knees are up. Place your hands on the blocks. Exhale, up, back, and breathe. So extend your arms and shift back. Work to straighten your legs. Remember, the breath that we're using is a deep belly breath. In and out of the nose. Tucking. Straightening the legs. Breathing. You come out of it, no problem. Just get back in. Keep tucking, keep breathing. Good warm up. We got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, take it down. Good. Circle your wrist. They might get a little sore doing this. Shrug your shoulders up and down. So the most important thing that I want you to do while you're in this position is breathe. And Emily gave me an idea. I was talking about blocks. I was like, we don't have enough blocks for like, the class is bigger, like we don't have enough blocks. And guess what? I don't know if any of y'all have tried to order any home workout fitness stuff during the pandemic. There's none. Like there are no court blocks. There are no yoga mats. They're all sold out. And they probably all come from China. And China's like, meh, you know, like that's probably my guess. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I'm kind of guessing, you know. Or they're like, we're not bringing in those crazy boatloads of yoga accessories or whatever they're not doing. So, all right, here we go. L-sit number 2. But what I was saying is Emily's like, well, we don't use the blocks that much. And I'm like, well, today we're going to use the blocks a lot. So they can thank you for that because we're going to use them all class. No, a lot. All right, here we go. Hands beside your hips, feet down, up, back, and breathe. L-sit number 2. So keep that tuck. Keep the shift. And if you can just lift one leg, hold it up for a couple of seconds. Maybe switch to the other leg. Keep the tuck. Keep the breath steady. Ten seconds. You can do anything 10 seconds. 4, 2, 1. Down. Good. I know I posted on the Facebook group about what we're doing with the Zoom classes because we have figured out that you can't, our computers don't like 95 degrees, or clearly they don't like 105 degrees, but you can't have a computer in a room that's 95 degrees. Expect it to work well. So Wednesday night has become a 95-degree class with Caitlin. So we can't Zoom that class anymore. So starting next week, the only classes that will be Zoomed for the foreseeable future will be Saturday and Thursday. If anybody at home is like, I really want a Budokan, like we've got them recorded and we can send them to you. We are transitioning to more studio. So if we can figure out a way to Zoom stuff where it doesn't take like where this setup is could be 3 people, right? So we're blocking 3 people actually physically being here, and we don't want to end up doing that. One more else sit. Hands on the blocks. Feet down. This is a long one, 45 seconds. Up, back, breathe. So if you're home and don't have blocks, just put your fist on the ground and lift your hips up. Keep the tuck. Keep your shoulders strong, but relaxing away from your ears as you breathe. 20 seconds. Ten, you can do it. 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, down. Good. Circle your wrists. And we're going to come to a tabletop position, and we're going to bring our blocks where your hands would be if you were in a downward facing dog. So that's pretty much shoulder width distance at the top of your mat. And then look at that space. Do you think you could lower your body into that space? If not, I can't. I'm going to have to widen out a little bit. And we're going to tuck our toes behind us, step your legs back, and come into a plank position. So plank, your shoulders are over your wrist, your hips aren't high or too low, and your gaze is forward. So remember, when we lower down, especially in yoga, it's not a push-up. Our elbows don't go out, they hug in. So you're energetically spinning towards your pinky, so your elbows are hugging in. Let's take our knees down for the first set. So we're doing essentially like lowering down chaturanga, hugging elbows back, but we're going past where we normally go. Now hug your elbows in and big press through your hands and lift it back up. That's 1. So hug elbows in, press to lower, slow that descent, and come back up 2. So what I don't want you to do is let your shoulder points drive forward. So keep pressing back and hugging back to keep open through the chest. Let's do 5 more from our knees. Down and up. Down and up. Down, up. Down, up. 1 more. Down, up. Child's pose. You can leave your hands on the blocks, put your hips toward your heels, and lower your forehead toward the mat. Child's pose is somewhere you can go anytime you want during your practice. So if you just need to catch your breath, you just need a break, this is your place. So we're going to do 2 more sets of those, but I'm going to give you the option to take your knees up. So if you find maybe you can do a couple and then your form starts to break down, you might want to take your knees down again, but give it a shot. If you don't have blocks, you can just do this. Just do chaturanga push-ups at home. So come up, place your hands on the blocks. I like my fingers like over the top of the block. Just a preference. Step your feet back. Your hips aren't high or low. Your body's straight like a board. Hug the elbows in toward the center. Shift forward and press to lower. Get a little bit lower than normal and come up 1. Good. Press to lower. Come up 2. Breathe. Let's do 7. 3. 4. 5. 6. 1 more. 7, up. Child's pose. Hips toward heels. Breathe. And I can hear, because I've dealt with this for years, somebody saying, that's too hard, right? Well, I mean, the class is called Hour Power. Or that's not yoga. Well, if I'm sitting here doing the same thing y'all are doing with a completely separated supraspinatus tendon in my shoulder, not even connected in my shoulder, and I'm doing this. So the too hard thing it's not a valid excuse. You've got the options to do it from your knees. All I'm asking is that you slow it down, and it's less about the shoulders. So pop up and look. I don't know if you can see, but it's more about anybody? Serratus anterior, right? So those are the muscles that help your shoulder blades curl up and down your back. So you're getting it's more of like, at least I think of it, like my fingers out here, they're not really connected to my core, right? But here and drawing in, so anything that's connecting here is connected closer to my core. You're stronger in that core. So the serratus drawing down your back is locking all this in as like this really strong unit. And that's what we're working to do. Because when we start doing handstand work and other things, you want that. Your shoulders aren't doing it. It's all of this that's doing it. So we're learning how to engage that. So one more set. So we're going to do it from the plank position. You can take knees whenever you need to, but don't wimp out. Step the feet back. Plank. Breath in. So spin the elbows toward the center and shift forward, pressing to control. You're lowering down into that hole and you're hugging and coming back up. 1. Let's do 7 with your breath. 2. 3. You got it. 4. I hear breathing tonight. 5. 6. And 7. Child's pose. Deep, steady breath. Let's come back up. Bring the blocks to the middle of your mat. So you're making like a little block table. So remember, blocks have height. Like this is super high. This is like medium. I'm going low. To the lowest way, and I'm building this little like firm table. And put your right hand on the block, put your left hand on the floor, and step back into a plank. So now one arm is more elevated than the other one. You're all there, right? Now we're gonna walk our feet over to the right, put our left hand on the block, and put our right hand on the floor. Try not to let your hips pop up when you make that transition. So again, shifting, right hand on the block, left hand on the floor. 1. Keep your hips as low as you can. Cross over. 2. Cross over. 3. Cross over. 4. 5. 6. 7. Child's pose. Hips toward heels. Breathe. Easy, hard. So we walk around on our hands in some of our moves. But if you can't do it in a plank, like how do you expect to do it in a handstand? Right? So we're kind of building a little bit of that proprioception, some of that body awareness of like what goes on when we are moving with different levels on our shoulders. Let's start on the right side of the mat with our left hand on the block. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, keep your hips pretty low. Shift over, right hand on the block, left hand on the block. 1. You want a little extra? Do a push up here. 1. Left hand on the block, right hand on the floor, push up. 2. Do 7. You count. Keep those hips low. Don't let them pop up. You should finish on the left side and take a child's pose. I was watching a guy doing stuff like this on Instagram. I'm not going to go there, but he was doing like clapping. Like he would go across, clap, hand down, clap, hand down. We won't go that far today. How's everybody's shoulders feeling? It's a lot of work, right? I don't know who I was talking to. Oh, our neighbor the other day. And he said when he first moved here, he was a young guy, and he went to the gym, and he saw, all those big guys in the gym. And he like went up to a guy. He's like, I'm young. I'm just trying to like fit in. And I went up to the guy and I go, how much do you bench? He said, the guy looked at him and goes, it's not how much you can bench. It's how many times you can move your own body weight. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you ask a man how many pull-ups he can do. That's the question you should ask, because that's functional. Like if you're getting thrown off a cliff or something, you're like, pull yourself up. Because he's strong, super. And I came from that world. I used to powerlift and bodybuild. So I know, like, they're like concerned about this, but then you like grab somebody's arm that's like all like this in jiu-jitsu, and they're crying right here. They have nothing. Like they're just bound in one way, so they don't have any kind of mobility. Let's come into a downward facing dog. Move your blocks out to the side. Spread your fingers wide. Stick your hips up as high as you can. Let's see, go chat. Lift and lower your heels. Fingers are spread wide. Neck is relaxed. Lowering your heels toward the back of the mat if you can. Staying active through the hands. And that same idea of like energetically spinning toward the pinky so your elbows hug in toward the center. And bring your feet together in your down dog. Rolling wave comes from Budokan. On an inhale, take your heels up as high as they'll go. On an exhale, roll through your spine. So you're just igniting that energy, shifting forward into a plank so your shoulders are over your wrist. And press to lower chaturanga. Slow and controlled all the way to your belly. Flatten your feet. Slide forward, hug your elbows and shoulders back, and curl your upper spine up. So it's not your neck curling, it's your feet pressing and the muscles all around the spine, shifting forward and up. Little back bend. Breathe. 3. Good. 2. Lower your chest, tuck your toes up and back. Downward facing dog. You're going to move through some sun salutations, little flow. Look to the top of the mat. Walk your feet forward. Keep your hands down as long as you can. Find a forward fold. So bend your knees and hips as much as you need to flatten your hands into the ground. Press into the ground. Straighten your legs and let your head hang heavy. It's a standing forward fold. Breathe. On an inhale, press through your heels, slide your hands up your legs, long spine, crown of your head forward, tailbone reaching back, getting as much length in your spine as you can. Exhale, fold again, take those flat hands to the floor. Imagine your hands are heavy, press through your heels, and inhale, roll up through your spine. Slow, controlled, intentional, shoulders shrug up, shoulders roll back and down. Mountain pose at the top of your mat. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Sun Sal A. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold your hands to the mat. Inhale for length in your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, walk or hop your feet back to that strong plank. Should be stronger now, right? Shift forward and press to lower. Slow and control. 3, 2, curl up cobra. Inhale. Press back, downward, face. Exhale. Breathe here for 3. Looking to the top of the mat where you're taking your feet, bending into your knees 2. And exhale, walk, hop, or float your feet all the way up to the top of the mat, lifting halfway. Fall down, flat hands. Press down, inhale, roll up, heavy hands. Shrug your shoulders up at the top. Take your shoulders back and down, mountain pose. Breath in. Breath out again. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, find length. Exhale, plant your hands, shift your weight forward, float your feet back. Lower, slow and controlled. 3, 2, Curl up cobra. Press back, downward facing dog. Breathe there. For 3. So bend into your knees and look forward. It doesn't matter if you make it all the way to the top of the mat. Give it a hop as you exhale. Taking your feet up to the top of the mat, lifting halfway. Fold down. Press through heels, inhale, roll up. Shrug shoulders up. Roll them back and down. Breath in. Breath out. In. Out. One more inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, float back, lower through, slow and controlled. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, press back. Breathe here, 3. Bending into your knees, looking forward, 2. Exhale, float your feet up to the top of the mat, lifting halfway. Deep fold. Press through your heels, inhale, roll up. Shrug your shoulders up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Grab your water if you need it. By feeling, warming up. It's like first class, he's like, I don't know if I can do 105. He's like, damn, this is 80. I know, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, like the warm classes on the schedule that are 95, like you can attest, like they're hot, right? Definitely is, yeah. They are, yeah. Well, most of the time. More consistent. This heating system is very consistent. So like if you come at 6 in the morning, it's going to be 105 degrees. Like we got it figured out. We got the panels are connected to that thermostat, which has got an app. And so we like can set it to turn on at a certain time. And we got to insulate like the top little corner of the ceiling, like before the winter for sure, you know. We got a little heat loss there. But it's nice because it's like, it's consistent. And this heat that comes out of these panels, there's different types of infrared. You have some that's like might not be so healthy for your body, but this is the spectrum that's good for your body. Like it's very healthy. So if you think about like infrared sauna, you could buy one for like $199 on some weird deal website. Or you could buy the rays that are like actually, you know, have beneficial, you know, stuff to them. And these have the beneficial. And you can't escape it. Like you're in a hot class and you're like, I'm gonna lay on the floor, it's gonna be cold. And you're like, it's not cold. Like I don't know what's going on. It's because it's like down on you, right? Top of the mat, bring your feet together. Squeeze your legs. So all the muscles, quads, hamstrings, calves, and glutes. Keep your glutes active. Stick your butt back, reach your arms up, and sit your glutes towards your heels. So take a peek at your toes. Can you see your toes? Move your knees back a little more. Lean your shoulders back a little more. Keep your arms reaching tall. And spin your pinkies in toward the center so your shoulders relax down your back. Fierce pose. Breathe. 3. Good. 2. And fold. Flat hands to the ground. Inhale for lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands down, left foot to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. So your right knee is over your right heel. It's got a little bit of an external rotation toward the pinky toe. Press through the heel, scissor your legs, and lift your hands. So you're looking for stability in that leg. So maybe your hands start at your hips as you go a little deeper into the front thigh. Try to let the knee pass the foot, so you just widen your stance if that's the problem. When you find balance, reach your arms up. Good. Crescent lunge. Breathe. What are you working on? Straightening the rear leg, reaching taller, maybe even hook your thumbs overhead, reach your fingers high, and bend back here for 3. Keep that depth in the front knee. 2. Hands to the mat. Float your right foot back to meet your left. Maybe it hovers as you shift through, lowering to 1 inch. Inhale, upward face. So your hands are pressing, your toes are pressing, you're bending back. Breathe 3. Breathe 2. Chin to chest, press and roll back to downward facing dog. Widen your stance in your down dog. Fingers are spread wide. We call this frog hop in place. So you bend into your knees, and as you exhale, you spring your hips up, and you lower your feet right back where they started. 1. So bend those hips, those heels towards your hips as you spring. 2. 1 more. Look forward. See if you can hover a little more. 3. Look to the top of the mat. Take your feet up to meet your hands. Feet are together as you lift halfway. Deep, fall down. Squeeze your legs, reach your arms up, sit your hips low, fierce pose, breathe. Look up, shoulders back, hips going toward your heels. 3, big breath. 2, rise up, interlace your fingers and bend back. So hips forward, shoulders back. Stay in your breath for 3. For 2, hands lower, heart center. Breath in, breath out. In, out, feet together, squeeze your legs, reach your arms, fierce pose, take it low. Arms high, hips moving toward heels, shoulders leaning back. Breathe 3. Breathe 2, and fold down. Flat hands find the mat. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fingers down, right foot to the back of the mat. We're in that runner's lunge with the left foot forward. Got that external rotation toward the pinky. Press through the heel and rise up. Maybe start hands, hips, front thigh parallel, rear leg straightening. Balance and arms high. Reach tall. Maybe you hook your thumbs, reach your hands higher, and bend back for 3. For 2. Hands to the mat. Left foot floats back. You lower through. Slow and controlled. 1 inch. Upward face. Inhale. Downward face. Exhale. Widen your stance. 3 frog hops in place. Look forward. Bend into your knees. Exhale. Spring, press, and float. 1. Spring, press, and float. 2. Spring, press, and float. 3. Look to the top of the mat. Take your feet up to meet your hands. Halfway lift. Feet are together. Fold down. Hips back, arms high. Reach tall. Take it down. Keep the shoulders leaning back. Breathe here for 3. Got it. 2. Hands to heart center. Left elbow outside right knee. So it's a seated twist. You're pressing the elbow into the knee. You're opening up to the right side. Pressing the hands together. Leaning the right shoulder back. How's your breath? Breathe here for 3. 2. Reach your arms up. Stay low in your seat. Hands together. Right elbow outside left knee. Connect. Press and open to the left. Keep your hips low. Keep your knees from splaying apart. Breathe for 3. Got it. 2. Fold down. Flat hands to the mat. Let your head hang heavy here. Sway it side to side. Draw in deep, steady breath. Take a hand to foot. Lift your feet. Place the back of your hand on the mat, bringing your toes to your wrist crease. So bend your knees as much as you need to make that happen. Then you can start to straighten your legs. If your legs are pretty straight, you can bend your elbows out to the side. Breathe. A little encouragement in that fold. For 3. Good. For 2. And release. Press through your heels, slow and controlled. Inhale, roll up. Taking the arms overhead. Interlacing the fingers, bring your feet together, grow tall, and bend back. So strong glutes. Shoulders lean back, hips press forward. Breathe for 3. 2. Hands lower. Good. Grab your water if you need it. Yeah. Well, that's what it is. It's repetition. It's like, it's like, well, I mean, you might, but most people don't go home and practice a frog hop. So the only time they're doing that is probably here, likely. Speaking of frog hop, pretty awesomeness. Sunday morning, Cameron Shane, my teacher, my Budokan instructor, is doing, it's the first time this has ever happened, so this is super cool. A global Budokan seminar on Zoom. So I set up an event here at the studio. I know it's early. It's 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. I get it. But this doesn't happen that often. So from 8 to 8:30, he'll be having what we call Mind Science at Budokan. So it's kind of like a lecture, just getting everybody ready. And then from 8:30 to 9:30, 10, 11, It's going to be a Budokan yoga / calisthenics class. So I'm going to try to like bring, like I've got another computer, I've got like a bigger screen. So I'm going to bring my big screen to put it right here. So like, not giant, but big enough that we can see it and we'll have good audio and we can hear it. So if you want to come to that, it is a class in Acuity. If you want to sign up, should be pretty interesting. I mean, there could be several hundred people like participating. And I mean, I'm saying 8 o'clock's early, but there's people in Europe doing this. So like, I don't exactly know where that falls, but I mean, there's going to be people at 3 in the morning or what, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So there's people going to definitely be earlier. Yes, 9 o'clock Miami time. Yeah, yeah. So if you've never experienced like Cameron like directly and stuff, it's pretty close. It's not 100%, but it'll be pretty fun. So we're going to do that Sunday morning, and we'll still have the normal Budokan at advanced at 4:15. Carly made advanced. Congratulations. She's so the advanced class, like we ask that you have memorized the primary class, and that you know, a couple of things like being able to do L-sits and a couple of things. So like everybody can get into that. You know, it's like just showing up for that 5:30 class, and like that's the class you'll come to 5:30 probably Sunday, and you did the Budokan at the USM thing too. So you've got at least a day of it. You know, it takes a while. It takes a while to get used to that. Let's talk about the frog hop and let's do a little bit more work there. So come back into your down dog. So the chance of flopping over is super like light here. It's not really. And if the best way to stop that, let's take our right leg into the air. So like 3-legged dog. The heel is pointed up. So everybody look back or move your foot so you can see that your heel's up and your toes are down, so your hip is pretty square. Now bend your right heel as close to as you can to your right glute. So it's as though you're like squeezing your hamstring like it's a bicep. Really feel that squeeze. And release, lower your right foot down. Let's take the left leg up. Bend the heel towards your glute. Squeeze it. Like you're flexing your bicep on the back of your leg. Squeeze it for 3, 2, left foot down. Take your knees. Just so you can see what I'm talking about here. So if you do the frog hop and your legs are all like crazy, flopping around in the air, you can fall out of it. This floor is like super fall outable. This is what this is designed for, right? It's not like a total martial arts floor, but it's made by the same company. So this is a hot yoga Fuji mat. So it does absorb your fall. So don't be like, oh, I'm going to fall. It's not, you know, it's going to absorb it. It's pretty good. But if you bend your heels towards your hips when you go up, it's going to stop that going over. So this is what I'm talking about, people not doing it. They'll be like, yeah, right? Yeah, but it's really what people do the first couple of times they do that. Because they think, well, there's different things. Their legs are reaching for the floor, one, because your feet want to be on the ground. You can't control that. We're overriding that. But if you bend the heels toward the hips and you look forward and you press into your hands, you get more of this like pause in the air. Does that make sense? You have to press the whole time, right? So you're building strength by pressing. You're bending the heels towards your hips, and you're going to eventually find this like floaty place. If you've never found it, when you do, you'll probably scream. You'll be like, oh, I'm in it. Because most people, you know, they're a lot further from it than they think they are. It's like something Emily and I've been working on a long time. She's like, I don't know why I can't. Because like, turn to the wall real quick, Emily. Frog hop to the wall. No problem, right? This is a weird psychological thing. Face forward on the mat. Frog hop. Same thing you just did. Close. But did you know? Yeah, that was better. But did you notice she didn't get that stop, that pause? It's like this far. Now watch. No, she's getting tired. No. Yeah. You get tired. I get it. Yeah. Doing the frog hop is harder. Then so in Budokan we do this one, right? We do one leg up. Because you've got the split in your legs, like it slows it down. You're slowing it down by bringing your heels towards your glutes. So let's give that a shot 3 times. So come into your down dog. Look forward. So your head forward is going to help the balance. Seems kind of weird. Bend into your knees. Exhale, spring, press, and bend those heels towards your glutes. Yes. Carly's going to. Yeah. Give it 3 times. Good. So, Carly, your legs went a little crazy at the top. Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of what brought you. No. You did good. You're like very slow and controlled coming out of it. Do you have any question about that? I know it's like it's not new to some people, but it's a difficult thing, right? So you're here. You look forward. You get springy. You come up. Yeah, so what I do, and I found that, like, nobody taught me that. If I'm going out, I go, I just move my hand a little, I just move my base. I just move my base a little bit, right? And that could be, it could be just my body likes to do that. But I would rather do that than go, like on my head, you know? But everybody has some way of like adjusting that. Let's try it one more time. Bring your hands to the mat. Take a couple of breaths. So the breath here is very important. I want you to bend into your knees and look forward. Exhale, press, hop, and bend those hips toward your heels. 1. That's amazing, Grayson. 2. Oh my God. And 1 more. 3. All right. Yeah. So Carly, I can't explain why some people are comfortable moving their arm and some people aren't. You just go on over. But for me going on over seems more dangerous than moving my hand because my back does not want to go to that forced back bend. Yeah, like I don't have the like this part of my spine. I can go into wheel, but my body thinks it's dangerous to go over that way still. Like it's something in my in my head. Y'all ever been to some kind of like camp or something where they do like the trust fall? You like stand on the thing and like, I'm going down. Like it's that kind of thing. Like you have to and you have to override. It's okay to be like, oh crap. Like that's something that I learned like in jiu-jitsu and judo and stuff. When you're falling, like what your reaction is, it's probably going to be wrong. Because you fall and you like reach your hand down and you break your arm, right? You get thrown and you learn how to just, bam. So you absorb that energy. Y'all do that stuff in Fight Club some, right? Yeah. So you learn to like, bam, like you hit everything. Everything hits at one time. Yeah, bam. Yeah. Let's try it one more time. Because I really want to get reps in. I know, but I want to get reps in. This is how you master something. You do it over and over and over. Bend into your knees. Spring, press, nice Emily, and hop. 1. Good. Nice, Eric. Good, Sam. 2. Everybody's got it. I like it. Yes. Child's pose. Good. It looks good. Everybody's looking better. That's good. Really good. Old frog hop. Well, it doesn't get any better, but I'll tell you this, like, you would have never in 100 million years seen that in a yoga studio in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And I would not be surprised if you didn't see it now in some people's classes. And that's cool. Like, no teacher would say, I go to some other class and I don't something clicks in my brain, like, oh yeah, I should do that. Like, that's how you should be as a teacher. Like, you have to go to other classes. You have to study with other teachers. Like, you can't be like, I'm a teacher. I'm done. I know everything. Like, it's just not, it just doesn't work like that. Like, everything is evolving. This whole thing is evolving, Budokan's evolving. So this 5, 7 years I've been teaching it, like, it doesn't even look the same as it did. So let's have a seat on our mat with our feet forward. Grab that block since we have it. Yeah. She's like, we don't use the block. She just uses it for one thing. I'm going to use it for everything. We should have done, oh yeah, we'll do that next week. We'd be like, put your blocks on the wall. Frog hop on the blocks. Yeah, start playing with that. Y'all ever seen those handstand canes? I know y'all probably aren't nerds like me, but they have these cane things people do handstands on. You actually, it's interesting because we do the parallel work on some classes sometimes. We got to get more. But this grip allows you to do stuff that this grip doesn't because it engages the forearms and the shoulders in a different way. So that's just what I did on the blocks. Essentially, I was doing like that. Like gymnast, you know, doing all that kind of, yeah. So that grip is super strong. So if you're ever tired of doing this, like your hands hurt or whatever, it's happened to me at Budokan. Cameron's like, just use your fist. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, your hand hurts in down dog. Use your fist in down dog. Like you can literally do every single thing that you can do on your knuckles, right? So it's interesting. So put your feet down and have your knees up. Take that block and squeeze it between your knees. So I want you to squeeze it to the extent that if I were to come up and try to pull it away, you're not going to let me have it. I'm not going to do that tonight, but I will do that. But imagine I'm pulling it away. You're really squeezing it. Now lean back and take your feet off the mat. Keep squeezing the block. You can have your hands on your legs. You can take your hands away if you're working this boat. You can extend your legs, but keep squeezing the block. So you're getting this like internal rotation, right? Now tuck your chin, reach everything forward, and slowly lower back to a hover. So your legs are up, your shoulders are up. You can take your arms behind you and press them into the imaginary ground. You are in a handstand. That's it. This is what a handstand should feel like. It's not easy. Reach the arms, reach the legs. Breathe 3. Breathe 2, curl up and find that boat. So your feet are still up, you're squeezing the block. Are you breathing? This will get your core working. Chuck your chin. Squeeze the block, straighten your legs, slide your hands down and find that banana back hover. Legs up, shoulders up, arms behind you, press into the imaginary floor. Squeeze the block. That's what I want you to feel. Squeeze the block. Breathe it for 3. Breathe it for 2. Curl back up. Smile. Breathe. Last one. Chin tucks. Legs reach. Squeeze it in. Find your hover. Reach your arms behind you. Breathe. For 3. For 2. Lower everything onto the mat. You let the block go. Breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. In. Out. Good. So just getting that feeling of that internal kind of rotation by hugging the knees into the block is something that you can build as muscle memory. And then like, if we're doing that in this class in the upcoming weeks or in Advanced Budokan, I'm going to tell you when you're in your handstand, hug your knees in like you're squeezing a block. So now you know what that feels like, right? So you develop those muscles, muscle memory, by doing it from the boat pose. You can move your block out of the way, bring your feet to the mat so your knees are up. We're going to do a couple of back bends. We're going to do a couple of bridges. May offer wheel options. So start with your feet hip width distance apart. Walk your feet up towards your hips so they're close. Press your elbows down, look at the ceiling, engage your glutes, and lift your hips as high as you can. Bridge pose. So if there's a hand position you prefer, that's cool. Straightening the arms underneath. I like to scoot my shoulders under a little bit. Just the way my shoulders are built. It allows me to get a little more height. Keep pressing through the heels, keep squeezing the glutes, and breathe. For 3. See if you can take it up a little higher. 2. And hips to the mat. 1. Windshield wiper your knees left and right, so just let them lower. Side to side. And come back to center. So we're going to go up to bridge. It can turn into wheel. If you have a wheel in your practice, just listen to how I'm asking you to go into it. So override this, oh, I know wheel, I'm blasting into it. This is a little more mindful. Feet close to hips, hip width distance, press and let your hips rise up. Bring your hands beside your head. Your fingers are pointed toward your toes. Hug your elbows in, pop up to the top of your head for a moment. So if you know your hand position is a little off, go ahead and kind of widen them out. Hug the elbows in, press through the heels, and straighten your legs. Straighten your arms. Breathe. Beautiful. Lifting. Hold it for 3. Hold it for 2. Slowly come to your head, your shoulders, your mid-back, and your hips. Windshield wiper your knees and circle your wrist. So even if you're like, your body's not quite ready for the wheel yet, go to the point of like where it stops. You're prepping it for that. The more times you go to that point and you really kind of like hang out there, the sooner the rest of it's going to come together for you. One more. Feet close to hips. Hip width distance, elbows hug in, press heels down, lift hips up. Bridge. Keep the bridge or wheel is hands by ears. Top of head. Adjust your hands, press through the heels and straighten your arms. Breathe. Relax your neck. Hold it here for 3. Good. 2. Come to your head, your shoulders, your mid-back, and your hips come down. Windshield wiper your knees and circle your wrists. Good, strong work. Take your arms behind you. So you're flattening your arms into the mat, into the floor, and point your feet at the ceiling, L shape. So your heels are pressing up, your toes are curling back, your tailbone is still down, you're working to straighten your legs, stretching those hamstrings, and getting the benefits of pretty much an inversion. Legs are over your heart. So stay here or move into a plow. That's pressing into the hands, lifting the hips, and taking the feet back towards your hands. So if you're moving into plow land, look straight up. Keep the arms reaching, keep the legs reaching. It's a little bit of a compression pose. And breathe. Deep, steady breath here. For 3. For 2. And begin to roll your hips toward the mat. Catch your feet as they pass. Dead bug. So get your tailbone down. Keep your heels pointed at the ceiling. You're pulling into your feet and you're kicking into your hands. Your knees are coming to the outside edges of your body. And you're breathing. Deep, steady breath. Pull and kick. Hold your shape. For 3. Good. 2. Release. Bring your feet to the mat. Cross your right foot on top of your left knee. If you're sitting figure 4, take your right hand and press it into the right knee, but press your right knee back into your hand. So you're not forcing the joint to open. You're resisting as you press. Breathe. So it's an active release. As much as you push with your hand, you push back with your knee, and you hold this shape for 3. For 2, you can release that pressure, peel your left foot up, and take your hands behind your left leg. See if you can interlace them behind it. Pull the left leg towards your body, lower your head and your neck back down to the mat. Both feet are active here. Breathe. See what happens when you change the straightness of your left leg, how it affects your stretch. Find a place that's tight and hold it for 5 good breaths. 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. Lower the left foot down. Uncross the right. Windshield wiper both knees, left and right. Leaving the right foot down, crossing the left foot on top of the right knee, figure 4. Left hand presses into the left knee presses back into the hand. Left foot is active, protecting the joints in the knee. Breathe. Take your left hand off the left knee, reach both hands around the right leg, pull that right leg towards your body, lower your head and shoulders back down onto the mat. Again, you can change the straightness or the bentness of the right leg to affect the stretch. Find a tight spot and breathe here. Both feet are stay active. And 5, 4, 3, 2. And release, uncross. Windshield wiper your knees left and right. And go ahead and hug both knees in towards your chest. Reach your hands around the top of your knees and pull those knees in towards your body. Circle on your lower back and your hips. Couple of rotations. Both directions. Coming back to center, keeping the left knee hugged in, take the right leg long forward and all the way down on your mat. Really pull that left knee up towards your left shoulder. Reach the left arm out to the left so that arm and shoulder stay down, and draw that bent leg across your body at spinal twist. So you're working to keep the left shoulder down as you draw that left knee across and down. And work your breath to release any tension that you have in that hip. Both your feet are still active. And try to release on the exhales. Your inhales give you a little strength. Hold your shape here for 3. 2. And inhale that left knee up. Hug them both in, circle on your lower back and your hips, a couple of reps. Keep the right knee in, take the left leg long. Lower the right arm out to the right, so the back of the right arm and shoulder down. Draw that bent leg across your body. Spinal twist on the other side. Big inhales. Controlled exhales, relaxing that knee across. Taking 2 more breaths on this side. When you're ready, you can draw that knee up, hug the knees in one more time. So if there's any shape or movement that your body is calling for to complete your practice, feel free to take it now. And then we're all going to meet in our final relaxation with legs extended long, feet relaxed out to the side, comfortable arm position next to your body. Allow yourself to be heavy. Deepen your breath. Make some movement into your fingertips. And your toes. Your next big inhale, stretch your arms long toward the back of the room. So full body stretch, reaching back through the fingers, forward through the feet. Big stretch. Exhale, bring your feet to the mat. Your knees point up. Just roll over to your right side. You can use your right arm as a pillow. Take a moment here. And walk your hands a little closer to your body and press yourself up to a seat. Can be cross-legged, can be kneeling. Sit nice and tall, hands on top of your thighs. Shoulders relaxing back and down. Take a breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. We're going to close with 2 in and out of the nose. So inhale, fill up. Exhale, press it out. One more in. One more out. In closing, you can bring your hands toward heart center. Thank you for your effort in both coming out here to practice or watching at home, supporting each other in the studio and the space. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week, and see you soon. Namaste. Good work, everybody. Yeah. Nice work, home people. Yeah.